Have you ever just looked out at your backyard chickens doing their thing and thought, could this little hobby actually make me some money? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to figure out. We're going to build a super practical 5-minute business plan to turn that chicken-keeping habit into a real profitable side hustle.
So, let's just get right to the big question. Can you really make a profit from a small flock of chickens? I mean, it's easy to just see it as a hobby, right? Maybe one that pays for its own feed with a few extra eggs. But here's the thing. With a good strategy, the answer is a huge yes. Because think about it, the demand for fresh, local eggs is bigger than ever. It all just comes down to having a solid plan.
Okay, so first things first. This is maybe the most important part. We have to make a mental shift. We're going to stop thinking like someone who just keeps chickens and start thinking like a business owner. It's all about that mindset.
That's right. You are the CEO of your own little poultry empire. And right here, over the next few minutes, we're literally going to build the essential pieces of your business plan.
I promise, by the time we're done, you'll have a super clear framework to get this whole thing started.
All right, on to our second section, your initial investment. You've heard that old saying, don't count your chickens before they hatch, right? Well, when it comes to business, that's actually kind of bad advice. Planning for your costs up front is exactly what you need to do.
Look, every single business, I don't care if it's a huge corporation or a backyard chicken farm, starts with an investment. Figuring out what you need to spend before you earn a single dollar is absolutely the key to making a profit later on. Honestly, skipping this step is probably the #1 reason small ventures don't make it. So, let's make sure that doesn't happen to you.
We can basically boil all those startup costs down to just 3 main things. First, you've got shelter and safety. That's your coop and your fencing. Makes sense. Second, you need the flock itself. Are you going to buy little day-old chicks or hens that are already laying? And third, you need the basic supplies, feeders, waterers, all this stuff to keep your flock healthy and productive.
Okay, so let's put some real numbers to this. Check this out. For a starter flock of, say, 10 hens, a decent coop kit might run you about $300. Fencing, maybe another $100. Now the birds, if you buy them as young hens, they're called pullets, that could be about $150 for 10 of them. And your basic supplies, maybe $50. So you're looking at a total startup cost of around $600. Now, of course, these are just estimates. You might build your own coop for less or find cheaper supplies. But seeing it all laid out like this, it feels pretty doable, doesn't it?
Now for section 3, this is where it gets really strategic. We're talking about choosing your chickens, but I want you to start thinking of them as your feathered assets. Seriously, because the breed you choose isn't just about what kind of chicken you like. It's a massive business decision that defines your entire model.
So you really have 2 main paths you can go down. With egg layers, you're building a business around a steady, consistent product, fresh eggs. It takes longer to see a profit, about 6 months, but your day-to-day costs are lower. On the flip side, you have meat birds. This gives you a way faster return. You're ready to sell in just 8 to 12 weeks, but they need a lot more expensive feed to grow that quickly. So, which one fits you? A slow and steady income or a quick, seasonal sale?
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Section 4, the profit equation. We've talked about what it costs, and we've talked about your assets. Now let's put it all together and see how you can actually start, feathering your own nest.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to this one simple, powerful formula. Your profit is just your revenue. That's all the money you make from selling your eggs or meat, minus your expenses, which is everything you spend to run the operation. What's left over? That's the good stuff. That's the profit you get to keep. It's the most important math you'll do for your new business.
Okay, so let's apply that formula. Let's get real. Using that egg-laying model we just talked about, what kind of money are we really talking about for our little 10-hen flock? And here it is, plain and simple. Let's say your 10 hens are laying well, and you sell enough eggs to bring in about $150 in revenue a month. Your biggest ongoing cost is going to be feed, which might run you about $50 a month. So, you take that $150 in revenue, subtract the $50 in costs, and you're left with $100 in monthly profit. Now sure, egg production goes up and down with the seasons and the age of your hens, but this gives you a real, solid idea of the potential. That's an extra $100 in your pocket every single month.
Which brings us to our last section. Is this actually for you? To help you figure that out, we've boiled everything we've just talked about down into a super simple 3-step action plan to get you going.
So here's the key. Don't just watch this, actually do it. When we're done here, grab a notebook. Step 1, budget your real startup costs based on prices where you live.
Step 2, decide on your business model, eggs or meat, by choosing the right breed. And Step 3, use that profit formula and calculate what you could potentially earn. This right here, this is your roadmap.
And look, if you take away just one single thing from all of this, let it be this. Success in any business, big or small, isn't about getting lucky. It's about having a clear, solid plan and then working that plan.
So there you have it. We've built the framework for your business plan. We've looked at the real costs, and we've calculated the potential profit. The numbers are right there. The only question left to ask is, are you ready to get started?